Regarding academia, I would say like my academic journey has been pretty adventurous.
That's been very adventurous. You've been all over Wales.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Collecting student IDs.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Holly and welcome to Help I'm Going to Uni by Cardiff Met, where each episode I'll be talking to a real-life uni student about their university experience. Today I'm joined by third-year product design student India. Hi, India.
Hello.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
So, let's get straight into it. Normally, I'd ask, how are you feeling before starting uni? But this is your third uni? Is this correct?
I think so. Let me just do a quick count. So I went to Aberystwyth University, then I went to Swansea University, then I went to Cardiff and Vale College, and now I'm here. So this is actually my fourth institution.
Okay. So you've really...
I've travelled Wales.
Tell me the story behind that. So what... Yeah.
So I went to Aberystwyth to study mathematical and theoretical physics. I did that for a term. I sort of... Aberystwyth is a really lovely place, but I sort of come to realise it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened straight after I moved back, really. And then I enrolled at Swansea University to study theoretical physics for 2 years. And then...
so you did like a full 2 years there?
Yes.
Okay.
And then during the pandemic, I found that I was just becoming quite creative. I had all of this time to learn the Adobe suite and just play around with my laptop. And then I decided to study product design instead. I was really fascinated with product design at school, and I love solving problems, and I wanted to do it more empathetically
more creatively and stuff. Yeah. No, that's super cool. So tried a few things, found what you liked, stuck with that.
Yeah.
That is quite a jump, though, from theoretical and mathematical physics to product design. Which uni was your favourite?
Here. Definitely here.
Right answer. No, joking. So when you then came to Cardiff, where did you live in your first year at Cardiff Met? Did you move into halls or did you live...
I lived at home by that point. I was having a bit of a journey with my mental health, and I felt that... I kind of thought that living with people was going to be the solution... as opposed to living with my parents, and obviously your parents can sort of wind you up a little bit. But then living with them then was actually probably a little bit more suitable for me than living with strangers around.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if you're going through it a bit, living in a new place with loads of strangers, probably not the best situation to be in.
Absolutely, yeah.
As fun as it can be, it's not always the best option.
Sometimes.
Have you lived at home then throughout your entire time at Cardiff Met?
Yes.
Have you enjoyed studying and living at home? Like, how's the balance been?
By this point, I come to really appreciate living with my parents.
Especially, I'm assuming, like, did you move out when you went to Aberystwyth?
Yes.
And did you move out when you went to Swansea as well? Okay.
Yeah, but because of the pandemic, we kind of were back and forth anyway. And obviously, when you're going through tough times, it's great to have your parents and that support system who obviously know you very well, and they can sort of help to regulate you. With strangers, anyway, it's like you're making a first impression, and if you're not doing very well, then that might not be the best impression. So it has been great, especially in the third year where there's been a lot of tough times and stressful situations. It's great to have your parents.
It is. I have missed my parents a lot when I was in third year because I was so stressed, and I was like, I just need my mum. I just need my mum. And my mum lives 4 hours away. So I was like,
I'm sorry about
FaceTime her 10 times a day, always.
My mum was great for, let's say I'm at my laptop for hours on end, and then she's like, have you eaten today? And I'm like, oh my God, no, I've completely forgotten to eat today.
I've actually forgotten to do that. I'm really
so
busy.
in the zone.
Yeah.
And she's, both my parents are great.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. So you're in third year now, yeah?
Yes.
So coming to an end of your time here. Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, absolutely. I really have. And at the moment, the show is on the
degree show.
Yeah. So it's great seeing everyone else's work and of course, seeing across the departments in the Cardiff School of Art and Design. Yeah, and also just seeing where your interests lie within other people's work as well, and almost seeing the parallels in all of your creativity whilst they all produce like very diverse work.
No, I was going to say, I went and saw the degree show yesterday. I had a look around in all the different subjects, and I was like, it's still every year gets me like how, even within like some subjects sometimes, how broad and different people's works can be. It's really nice to see all the creativity come together. Okay, so I'm going to move on to some quickfire questions now. Do you have any top tips for making friends on arrival at uni? Obviously, I suppose it's different for you because you didn't live in halls, you lived at home. Would you say you made friends on your course?
Yes, absolutely. So I would say the first thing I did was step into the course rep role.
Okay.
I was the only person that transitioned from Cardiff and Vale, or from a different institution into the third year, I believe. Or at least I was the only one on my course.
Yeah.
So anyways, I stepped into the course rep role because I wanted the opportunity to introduce myself to everyone.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a good way to like put yourself in to be able to talk to everyone.
And also say, you know, I think that's a great way to do it as well, because you're immediately making yourself approachable for chats with current students that may have been there for a few years, or it might even be their first year as well.
Yeah.
And then you can discuss what you enjoy about the course and just immediately have the, you know, relatability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of goes along with my second tip, which would be to be yourself. I know that it's a bit
No,
cliche.
I think that's a good thing for people to remember, because it's when you're trying to meet new people, it's so easy to maybe try and like be like, oh, I want to make friends, so I'll be like this or I'll be like that. But you do just need to be yourself.
Absolutely. And I suppose when you're in a new place, you want to, you know, you can either introduce yourself as someone you sort of want to be, so like this perhaps more confident persona,
definitely.
Or you can finally take this moment to be your real self. Let's say if you had been like sort of masking for quite a long time. So that's been really useful, and just immediately being open with what your interests are, both in academia and outside of it.
Yeah.
For my third one, I would say what's been quite instrumental in finding friends as well here, or at least developing friendships. You know, I find that it's quite easy to introduce myself to people, but then I sort of struggle a little bit with developing those friendships. It's, you know, especially if in the third year, everyone's very busy.
Yeah,
so making sure that you are listening to what lies beyond someone's project. So, for example, you know, I think in the third year, or at least I certainly took this initiative, or I took this chance, I should say, to make my project quite personal, and I think quite a lot of people have done that.
Yeah, I feel
you
like
know?
definitely in third year people do that.
And so when you are talking about your topics, that's a great way to introduce a bit of your own sort of personal life, and that is absolutely the grounds for relatability and discussion there. And I think that's where developing friendships certainly have blossomed, because let's say we've gone for lunch and then we've ended up talking about our projects that have led into
like conversation about your personal lives.
Absolutely,
Nice.
And that's been great.
What would you say is the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
Regarding academia, I would say like my academic journey has been pretty adventurous.
That's been very adventurous. You've been all over Wales.
Yeah, absolutely. So, collecting student IDs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that's probably the most adventurous thing I've ever done, because it obviously takes a lot of courage to sort of stop concluding your second year as well, and sort of realizing that you might be heading in the direction you don't want to be in.
Yeah.
And whatever has gotten you there, you know, it doesn't really matter as long as you follow your heart. And obviously that can come with, you know, it's a huge financial decision as well to do that. But I certainly haven't regretted it since I've been in product design, especially since I've been here, where it's, you know, it's very fast paced and it's very dynamic. And I certainly have felt like I made the right call, even though it probably would have been quite easy for me to just finish up.
Just stick out what you're doing.
Yeah. So I would say if something doesn't feel right, I know that it is a really difficult choice, but you won't regret following your heart and making that tough decision, because otherwise that feeling that it doesn't feel quite right will just stay there, and you'll always
just linger.
But then again, you know, masters courses can redirect you as well.
Yeah,
so
definitely. There's always options.
Yeah, totally.
City life or countryside?
I do quite like a city. I'm hoping to move to London. My sister has been living in London for the last couple of years, and it's been great to visit her on days where, you know, it's not so busy, or, you know, in areas that aren't so full of tourists, because obviously they're not like the immediate touristy places, and then getting to really appreciate cities for just, you know, like obviously London is very like
I want to move to London soon,
yeah, totally. It's very like busy. And yeah, there's literally just that word to describe it. But sometimes it can be quite relaxing.
Yeah,
to just wander.
Definitely. Dogs or cats?
I have only ever had cats.
Really? So you're gonna have to go with cats.
Yeah, I don't really know how to pet a dog. You know,
I feel like that about cats.
Yeah.
What's your favourite takeaway?
Probably Indian food. There's a great one in Ponty called Jamil's.
Ooh, I love Indian food. I bet that's banging. And what's a film that you can watch over and over again?
So Midnight in Paris is something I watch quite regularly.
What is that?
It's
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I think it's like a romantic comedy. It stars Owen Wilson and Rachel McAdams. I couldn't think of her name then. Well, to be fair, it's got like a star-studded cast, so it's immediately having those familiar faces that you might have grown up watching as well. And basically, it takes place in Paris and. Obviously. But basically, the main character is a writer, or at least he's a screenplay writer, but he wants to write a novel, and to his girlfriend's discouragement and disapproval. But basically, while he's wandering the streets of Paris, every night at midnight, there's an old sort of 1920s vintage car that pulls up, and it takes him to Paris in the 20s, where it was full of all of these writers that can give him advice on his book. And
that's so interesting.
And in turn has also given him advice in his life as well. But
I have to give that a watch.
Yeah, it's got a lovely soundtrack to it as well, and it's just immediately relaxes you, and it's great for when it's raining as well. I think it's a nice cozy one.
Cozy, yeah. Books, games, or Netflix?
At the moment, I'm really loving audiobooks.
Oh, nice. I've never listened to an audiobook, but people say that...
Ever?
Yeah, no, never.
Wow.
If I'm reading, like, I like to read, actually. I don't like to listen, I don't think, but I think I should give it a try.
I like reading as well, but basically lately, funnily enough, I've come across this Lord of the Rings audiobook that's very, very atmospheric. It's almost like it's really immersive as well, because it kind of mixes the score. Have you seen the films? Oh, really? If you had seen the films, it kind of mixes the score
that
and
with the book.
Yeah, the ambience as well. And this reader has this amazing range of voices that are very they're quite uncanny to the cast as well. It's almost like you can hear the film playing out. And
that's so cool.
I've never listened to an audiobook like that, but I've really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so moving on from our quickfire, we're going to go to student confessions. Have you seen the trend and it's like, oh, I'm bored, tell me your most unhinged story about blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah?
Yeah, I have.
So we basically asked that and got like responses of people telling us their student stories. And this was one of them. I haven't read all of these as well, so this is one we'll read together. Okay, so in my second year, I had a student house with 4 of my friends. I arrived first, but forgot all of my bowls and plates. It was fairly late and I was hungry, so I cooked up some super noodles. I boiled the water, chucked the super noodles in, and ate straight from the kettle. For a good month or so later, my housemates complained their tea and coffee tasted weird. Yeah, no wonder. That's gross. Ew, I don't like that at all. That's really made me cringe, the thought of eating super noodles out of a kettle.
You know what? When I went to Aberystwyth, there was a fire talk we all had to attend, and there was this fireman, and he asked, "How do you make pasta?" And I suppose that was a rhetorical question, right?
Yeah.
And he asked, "Do you put the pasta in the kettle to boil it?" And then we were all stunned because it was the first time we were all even hearing this happen. And he said, "I've actually been called out to put out a fire."
What, they've started from people trying to boil stuff inside the kettle?
Absolutely, yeah.
Maybe I'm too smart, but I fear that was common sense, that you don't put food inside a kettle.
I don't know. The immediate thought I had was, wow, I mean, if you're living away from home, it's like you want to try things slightly outside of the norm. It's
maybe
like you kind of question how your parents might have raised you or how they cooked for you or whatever. And
that's really funny.
You try new things.
Yeah, that's really, I don't think I've ever cooked like that. Are you good at cooking, or?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. You think so?
Yeah, I try and
Would you say you have like a signature dish that, like, if you're cooking, you always go to make that?
Oh, so I'm very lucky to have my mum's best friend is Sri Lankan, and she has all of these dishes. She actually has recipes, whereas my mum kind of throws stuff together, and it's always great. But she's never going to make the same thing twice.
That's literally me.
But last summer I would just go to her house and learn to cook with her. So then,
oh wow.
Yeah, I wanted to make a family cookbook that would just be this thing that would pass down. This dish that she makes that I really love called Bombay potatoes, and it's like full of all of these spices. And you know what? It was so weird. When she would cook it in front of me, obviously I've been going to her house and having her food since I was very young. And when certain spices were added, and especially she has like a whole combination and order to her cooking as well. And at one point, this smell just went into the air and immediately sent me back to my childhood.
Aww.
And I started to well up a little bit.
It's weird how like smells and stuff can make you like so nostalgic to like specific time periods of your life that when you smell it, you're like, oh my God. Like,
I think it's the first time I've had a smell have that effect on me.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cute and wholesome. I like that. Okay, so tell me a bit about you. Like, what made you decide to go to uni? Either in the first place or when you decided to go here, like, what was the first like driving factor that made you want to go to uni?
Oh, okay. So in school, you kind of pressured. I mean, looking back as an adult now, I would say in school you're kind of pressured to go into university.
Yeah, I feel like it can be a bit like that sometimes.
Because it's that immediate, what's next? Here are your options. You got an apprenticeship, you got a uni, or you have a gap year. And if you say, I'm going on a gap year, it's like, well, you're on your own then. You know?
Yeah.
In sixth form anyway, there were these deadlines to get your UCAS applications across and get your personal statements done on time and stuff. I was recognised as quite academically inclined in school, and so I kind of had that expectation. My first choice was to study product design here. But
really?
I was discouraged from that because I sort of was made to feel like I wasn't really cut out for design. And, you know, the saying is like too creative. It probably comes up quite a lot for creative students that probably have decided to ignore that and go ahead with it anyway.
Yeah.
But I was encouraged more to study something academic.
More academic, yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, after a while, it was like I really couldn't believe that I couldn't quite grasp that design wasn't going to be in my future unless I took action.
Change something, yeah.
Yeah.
What would you say, like, what made you choose Cardiff Met?
I guess I'd always been quite drawn to Cardiff Met because around the corner there were these innovation awards. And back when I was studying product design at GCSE level and stuff, and I really wanted to get my work on display there. That was such an ambition for me. And so I would just go there on my own and attend these workshops and stuff to know what my work was lacking. Anyway, so that was when the Cardiff Met sort of stall was up. There were quite a few unis there, but when I spoke to Gareth,
Gareth,
he could immediately see my passion, and he was like, I don't know, he's got that.
Gareth is very chatty, very encouraging and nice energy.
I think he's a really great listener as well. He kind of observes your passion, and then he makes a response, and I felt very encouraged by that, and I couldn't wait to say, right, I'm gonna, sort of announce. I'm going to go to Cardiff Met and I'm going to study product design. I had been drawn to it. It was always a what if while I was at other universities. In fact, when I was studying physics in my spare time, I would still play around on Fusion 360 and play around with this design software, but it kind of felt like it was a bit of a secret. Like I felt a little ashamed.
You're like Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
By day you're a physicist, by night you're like secretly doing product design.
I felt like I had this little secret because I felt a little bit embarrassed that I was still interested in it. It was almost like, I've
you should have let that go almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
clearly you didn't for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm really glad that I did get to come here and experience what a great university this is, and how friendly everyone is, and the department itself. It's like everyone cares. Back in science, I think everyone is very like to themselves. Here, everyone is like really passionate about their work, but how they're contributing to the wider world as well.
Definitely.
And everyone really believes in each other. You know, they're quite free to have eccentric clothing styles and tattoos and all this stuff, and it's like, oh wow, you're like
it's
really
nice being surrounded by creative people and like seeing it expressed in different ways almost. I feel like in creative spaces it's more like you're seeing everyone's personality on the outside as well as the inside.
Absolutely.
Whereas in academic things, everyone's personality sort of stays on the inside while they present very like professionally and like traditionally almost. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry. Yes, of course. I think you totally captured what I was trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. And it says here you've been involved in a lot of entrepreneurial activity and challenges, such as the PDR 24-hour design challenge. So tell me what that is. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so in product design, you get 24-hour challenges, or they're these sprints where a client will come in, present a brief, and then you go into teams and you have to pitch your idea the next day.
Oh, my friend that did product design, she's told me about this before. Yeah, no.
So the first one was with PDR.
What is PDR?
So PDR is a consultancy that's actually across the road from me here.
Oh, nice.
Partnered with our university, of course. So the brief was to come up with a wearable sensor and basically come up with the context in which it would be worn and obviously the problem that you're solving. Well, first of all, I signed up to, by this point I didn't really know a lot of people, so I signed up to a group full of people that I didn't know because I wanted the chance to meet everyone. My team identified that fatigue in pilots is quite common and pilots don't seem to trust their fatigue report systems of their airlines, and this was one source, so I don't really know how true this is.
Yeah.
But pilots get like a 15-minute break per flight. And obviously within 15 minutes, you might even think to your workplace or your experience, like 15 minutes to have a break is not a long enough time, especially since you have all of this
flying airplanes.
Absolutely, it has.
Seems kind of crazy.
So much responsibility. You can't really relax.
Yeah.
When we said that this is going to be the problem, and obviously in a 24-hour challenge we have to move very quickly.
Yeah.
And especially we were team one as well, so that meant we had less time than everyone else as well. So it was like, right, cut and dry. This is the problem. What sort of approach are we taking to consider this problem solved?
Yeah.
I thought that in your 15 minutes, you would want to be in as restful of a state as possible.
Yeah.
And so I basically remembered that from meditation aids, there are these binaural beats that basically they're like alpha, beta. This is from a past project.
Yeah.
But it brings you down into a more restful state with these audio tones.
Okay.
So as they get sort of like a lower frequency and stuff, then it can bring
it makes you like relax, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I also thought, I suppose that could work on the inverse as well. So if they bring up to a higher frequency, then you'll be more alert as well. So then the idea became this has to be a wearable sensor that can track electrical brain activity. There's no way of measuring fatigue as such, really, apart from this way. So then I thought there needs to be a patch that will go onto the head, that'll then go into an earpiece, and then it'll be able to not only, optimize these rest times, but also bring the pilot back to alertness.
Wow. That is so interesting. One thing I love about talking to people that do product design is that obviously you're coming up with solutions to these like random problems that like are things as not a product designer, random things I would never even think about in my life. And I love hearing just like all these random cool ideas. I think it's so fun.
Yeah, in the third year I was very much looking to use physics as a bit of as leverage in design as well, because obviously I am still very much passionate about physics and science and expanding your knowledge in that sense, and then using that into design, because obviously design is more the tool to create. And so I wanted to apply that learning with the binaural beats into the design itself.
That's super cool. And have you got any plans of what you hope to do when you graduate?
To build on, applying science to design, I'm looking to study clean tech innovation, the master's course at Imperial College. I have been given an offer,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm waiting for my results today.
Yeah.
And I think they're coming out today anyway. And I've also secured funding as well for this. I've been awarded an industrial design studentship from the Royal Commission. Found out last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very impressive.
Thank you so much. I have been working very hard trying to coordinate all of these moving parts, not just your studies, but what lies beyond that. And it feels great to actually be in the driver's seat. It's almost like a complete, a full circle moment from when you were in sixth form and having these sort of choices put onto you, or certainly onto me. And now I get to say, well, I've been on this journey now. I know that whilst I have switched courses, I know that I'm interested in science and in implementing it into design. And I get to decide what my specialty is now.
Yeah,
and I've grown into my interests. Thank you.
Oh, well, congrats. That's really, really exciting for you.
Thank you so much.
Wow. I think that's the most impressive answer I've heard from when I've asked people what to do when they graduate. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up here. It's been lovely chatting to you today.
And of course, it's been lovely chatting with you too.
Thank you. This has been Help, I'm Going to Uni by Cardiff Met. I'm Holly, and I'll see you next time.